Welcome to the show, guys. Joseph Robert Camo here, the Fantasy Football Counselor. In this video, we're talking about the top 5 tight ends for Fantasy Football 2022. The very early list. Going to dive in. Going to give you guys my opinion on the tight ends going into the season that should be considered to be on top. Mind you, I tell you, do not draft a tight end early, and I'm going to talk about why. We're going to dive into some statistics, have some fun, and talk some tight ends here. Before we get into this, guys, make sure you guys head on over to the pristineauction.com, the sponsor for the show. Guys, enter for the draws to win. This week, we're giving away a signed Dalvin Cook Speed helmet. Beautiful helmet here. Lots of giveaways for you guys. We got another cool helmet coming in. That's going to be revealed very soon. pristineauction.com. Create an account. Use promo code SWAGLINE, guys. It's very simple. SWAGLINE is the code. You're entered for all draws moving forward. pristineauction.com. Promo code SWAGLINE. If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys click that subscribe button. Helps the channel. And let me know below, is there any tight ends that you like this year going into the season? What is your top 5? Love to get your feedback. And, of course, pre-order the 16-round draft solution. I've linked that below. Or head on over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. Head on over there right now. You guys pre-order the 16-round draft solution for the lowest price of the season. Dominate your draft. Optimal players, sleepers, breakouts, everything you guys need, 16 rounds. All right, let's dive into top 5 tight ends going into 2022. And I got to say this straight out to start this video off. I really don't care. I don't care about tight ends. I'm going to be waiting to draft a tight end. Literally, I'm just going to wait. If you look at the top 5 tight ends based on PPR in 2021, based on the 18 weeks, we had Zach Ertz coming at number 5, George Kittle, Dalton Schultz, Travis Kelce, and Mark Andrews to round out the top 5. Number 6, Kyle Pitts. Number 7, Gronkowski. Number 8, Dallas Goedert, Mike Gesicki, and Hunter Henry to round out the top 10. Looking at this, I mean, the only one that kind of returned his return on investment, he's always consistent every single year, is Travis Kelce, always finishing on top. This year, although 262 fantasy points, the guy that finished on top of him was Mark Andrews. But here's the thing. Dalton Schultz, he slid into the mix here, finishing number 3rd, and he was going undrafted, or people didn't even talk about Dalton Schultz, yet he remained consistent. Now, coming at number 4 is Travis Kelce, but he was a very high draft capital pick, and people invested in him. These are the guys that finished. It's not my list yet. This is the guy that finished, on the top still, but he was very inconsistent. I'm looking at his stats right now. Week 2, 5.7 points. Week 4, 8 points. So he had a bunch of duds here. Week 16, 4.1 points. Week 17, 4.5. Week 18, 6 points. So very inconsistent. Now, he had that big game in Week 13, which inflated his numbers. He had about 40, just under 40 points. He had a 20-pointer in Week 9, but George Kittle is the guy I'm talking about here. And at the end of the day, George Kittle, even though he finished 4th, very inconsistent, but there isn't much competition at tight end. Like, nobody really performs on a high level at the tight end position. And this is why I never invest early on a tight end. Now, mind you, Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce obviously return their investment, but it's very, very rare. And these guys go for very high draft capital. So, if you want a tight end, you're going to have to pay a lot if you want a good tight end like Kelce or Mark Andrews, right? Even George Kittle was a 2nd-round pick. And again, at 198 points, I don't think that's a good return on investment in the 2nd round. So, again, with tight end, I really don't trust this position. But I'm going to give you guys my top 5 going into this 2022 season. But again, there's some variances. It's very early. I don't know how the depth charts are going to fall together. I don't know what's going to happen after the NFL draft. This is just a very early discussion. Don't hold me to it. We're just having some fun here, okay? So, number 5 here, if things go the way they should, if he plays all the games, if he comes back, if Brady comes back, Gronkowski's easily top 5, consistent. Now, he only played 12 games and finished 7th. So, Gronkowski, if he doesn't retire, if he continues, if they don't win a Super Bowl this year, if, again, he comes back and he stays healthy, Gronkowski, I got him in at number 5, consistent as they come, gets it done everywhere, Brady's top target. I love Gronkowski, period. He's number 5. Coming at number 4 here, I got to go here with, this is a tough one because I'm torn. George Kittle could slide in there again, have a bounce-back type year, even though he finished 4th. Again, like I said, very inconsistent. I'm going to go here with Kyle Pitts at number 4, based on stealing, based on upside, based on the fact that he needs another year to get going. Again, I don't know what's going on with Matt Ryan. Is he coming back? How that's going to work? Is he going to improve their O-line? Is Matt Ryan going to have more time to throw? Are they going to bring in a top-tier receiver? Does Ridley come back? Too many questions. But if everything goes well, Kyle Pitts is easily the top 4 tight end based on talent, based on volume. He had 110 targets. Not bad for his first year, right? Only 1 touchdown, so that should go up next year for sure. I mean, no way but up for him. But again, still finished 6th, right? So I got him at number 4. Not bad. So Gronkowski, if things go well, Kyle Pitts coming at number 4, right? 5-4. Coming at number 3, guys, it's very simple for me on this one. But again, there's some uncertainty. But I'm going to go George Kittle, but I'm not going to pay for him. Right? But based on the other tight ends, based on the situation, based on talent, I got to put George Kittle at 3, although I will not invest high draft capital in him. And again, he was very volatile. But once he gets going, gets in that groove, and hopefully he does a little bit more next season, very possible. We know Deebo Samuel got integrated a lot more this year, and that's fine. But, I mean, George Kittle, based on talent, opportunity, and the fact that he finished 4th this year, I don't see any reason why he's not top 3 this upcoming season. I got to push Dalton Schultz out. Even though he finished top 3, I got to push him out. I don't know if this was an anomaly year. I don't see him repeating based on, I mean, see him having a good year, but I don't see him beating the guys I mentioned if everything goes well for them. So Dalton Schultz, I got to slide him out of the top 5. Obviously here, I got to go with Travis Kelce, number 2. And again, I'm not trying to copy and paste here, but Kelce, I mean, he's been consistent for like 5 straight years. When is that decline coming? This could be his last hurrah. Again, is he going to continue to perform on this top level? Compared to other tight ends, yes, but we did see a decline this year. Not even a decline, I'd say, just finishing 2nd. So I got Kelce at 2 again. I still think Mark Andrews, based on if he continues to do what he did this year, could beat him, and he's my number 1 here. So let's talk about this real quickly here, okay? With number 1 and 2. Again, just because Mark Andrews finished number 1 this year doesn't mean he's going to finish on top again this next year. So he had a pinnacle year, 154 targets, 301 points. That's a lot of points. And if you're going to want Mark Andrews, you're going to have to pay for Mark Andrews. So is that something that you're going to want to invest in very early, knowing that there's a potential decline for stats? Like, that's not something that I personally will be investing in very early. Now, if you look at his 2022 numbers, when you're talking Mark Andrews, he finished 6th. He had 88 targets, 701 yards, seven touchdowns, and 170 points. So just in that, 1 year, there was a huge jump to targets, 154. Now, the question is he going to maintain, grow, whatever, on those targets? I think that, you take the average of last year, take this year at 154, I'm going to see a decline here, definitely in targets. 154 is very, very tough to match. 107 receptions, 1,361 yards, 9 touchdowns. Again, very hard to duplicate. So, he's going to, again, because he finished on top, he's going to be recommended very early by the Concheapsis. They're going to say, oh, draft him in the first round. It's Mark Andrews who finished with this many points. That's BS, because at the end of the day, a decline is possible, imminent, unless he's like superhuman or is just really, really good and he just grows on top of that. But based on the years prior, even the year in 2020, didn't get anywhere near the type of volume share that he did this year. Okay, so I'm not investing an early pick on either him or Kelce, even though Kelce 262 points. Now, if you put him at a point range comparable to a wide receiver, 242 points, that makes him the 15th amongst wide receivers. So Jalen Waddle finished with 2. I stand corrected here. That would actually put him 9th. Mike Evans was 262 points. So it would put him in the top 10 amongst wide receivers, which is good for Kelce, and you're going to get that. But you're probably passing up on a stud running back or another position that you could use over a tight end. Now, what you're saying, Joe, why do I wait on tight end? What else can I get? You can get a ton of value at tight end. Like I said, Dalton Schultz, right? He was good value this past draft. Dallas Goedert finished 8th. Mike Gesicki finished 8th amongst tight ends. You're not going to get 260 points, but you're going to get Mike Gesicki put 165 points up. Hunter Henry put up 164 points. Right? Noah Fant had a good year, 151 points. You're going to get those consistent point getters every single week without paying and pay nothing to get them, and you're going to get basically, good value, not paying an early draft pick. Now, Darren Waller was very high on the draft picks. He had only 133 points, played 11 games. Darren Waller, a big bust. People paid early draft capital for him, and he busted. So Waller, hopefully his ADP crashes this year, and you can get him for value going into next year. So, guys, it all comes down to value with tight end. I will never invest early on a tight end. I will look for a backup tight end, or not even a backup tight end, but a tight end like a Gesicki, and back him up, and then you're good. Like, I would have been happy having, Dalton Schultz or Goddard and Gesicki and back them up with a Freiermuth or like a CJ Uzomah or something like that. That way you are covered. Once you are covered at tight end, you don't have to worry, and you can focus on more skilled positions like running back and wide receiver and let the tight end go for value, okay? So again, those are my top 5 going into 2022. Very early list, guys. Make sure you guys do subscribe. Leave a thumbs up. Let me know your top 5. What do you guys think? It is very early. And get the 16-round draft solution, guys. Thanks for being here. I'm out.